thought I'd spend a couple minutes maybe just going over the word pattern, and I realized that I kind of glossed over it in my last Vlogmas, and maybe, and a couple people reached out to me and said they're interested in doing it. So I thought I would just talk a little bit about what I did, because the pattern is written bottom up, and she has you do it in pieces, although she does say you can easily modify to work in the round. So of course, I'm working in the round. I would do it whether she said it was okay to modify or not. But I realized that I really didn't talk about what's happening here and why all the markers. So what I do is, I think the pattern does have you place these markers, these ones here, but I also tagged the rows that need to be purled. So of course, whenever you're working cables, there's a purl stitch on either side to give the cable some definition and make it pop in your knitting. So I tagged every single one of those columns. I didn't think I would leave them on beyond, the first few rows, but I'm finding it really helpful to have those purl rows tagged. The other thing that I think I talked about last time was that the cables, cables are different. Sorry, there's a cat hair. The cables are different. They are side by side. One is more like a braid, like a crisscross braid, and the other one is just I think that's a right twist. I think when it goes this way, it's going to the right, so I think it's called a right twist, right-handed twist. So the right-handed twist, you only twist twice in the repeat, and I think it's an 8-row repeat. And this cable, every other row, you're crisscrossing something. And all the crisscrosses are 4 stitches. So you're moving either 2 to the front or back each time. And then the center front is this garter stitch panel. So working in the round, you're knitting a row and purling a row. And it's marked on the chart. It tells you what to do. And then the side has this textured stitch, which you're basically, it's a 4-row repeat. So every other row, or twice in the 8-row repeat of the cable, you're doing the texture on this, but other rows you're just knitting. Yeah, and I also marked my side seam. And then on the back, or if this is the back, it doesn't matter, they're exactly the same. So at some point when I reach the armhole, I'll be working flat again. And again, like for me, that doesn't make a difference in my gauge. I know for some people it can, but if you know you're knitting, you can just switch up your needle size based on, if your gauge gets tighter when you work flat, you can go up a size. If it gets looser, you can go down a size. But yeah, that is the word. It is so gorgeous. It's what I want to knit on, but I have gift knitting.
The lamp is burning low upon my tabletop. The snow is softly falling. The air is still in the silence of my room. I hear your voice softly calling. If I could only have you near to breathe a sigh or two, I would be happy just to hold the hands I love on this winter's night with you. The smoke is rising in the shadows overhead. My glass is almost empty. I read again between the lines upon each page.
I'm happy to share with you I finished the socks I was working on. They're all blocked and ready to be wrapped for a Christmas gift. And I cast on the last pair of gift socks. This is yet another chromatic yarn. This is poison resistance. I have also been plowing away on my Saucy Surrey bomber jacket, and you will see this later in the Vlogmas series finished, because I am getting there. I am just about 3 rows, forgive all the cat hair, that'll all get washed off before this gets gifted. But I thought you might enjoy seeing how the black reverse speckle worked with this. I think it looks quite good. I really love it. But I'm in the middle of the row, and I'm also only about, I'd say about 6 rows away, because you knit for every row of Surrey, you're knitting 2 rows of fingering weight sock yarn. So I think I have like 3 rows left there. So I've got 6 more rows of the ribbing to do, and then I fold it in half and attach it on the inside using a 3 needle bind off, and this part over here ends up being like a front. So this would be the bottom right front right here. So this is where the zipper will get sandwiched in right there in this bottom section, and then it's just hanging out for the rest of the sweater. But yeah, I am having a little, like, because I'm so close to having this, getting to the point of doing the 3 needle bind off. If I were home tonight, it's Friday, December 2nd. I'm heading out to the Hamptons today. If I was home tonight, I would tell you, no problem. I'm gonna finish the waistband, and I'll start knitting the sleeves, because the sleeves it's a drop shoulder, and I'll just pick up stitches around the armhole here, and then work on the sleeves. The sleeves are top down. But I'm going to my friend's tonight, and by the time I get there, it's going to be dark, and he likes to watch movies in the dark, and we're knitting on a black yarn, doing a fiddly 3 needle bind off. That's not going to be fun in the dark. So I may save this for tomorrow morning when I get up. We usually have some quiet coffee and chat time, so it'll be probably a pretty good time for me to work on this. But nevertheless, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to finish the knitting of the waistband, and then I'll just work on the sock and my Funfetti sweater, which I have not knit 1 stitch on the Funfetti since I last talked to you a few days ago. But it'll be a good project actually to work on while I'm out there, because it's pretty mindless, the Funfetti. And this will be mindless too once I get past this this fiddly part here. Hey there, going to campus. It is so cold today. It's below freezing. I think it's around 30 Fahrenheit, which would be, I don't know, 0 or -1 Celsius. So yeah, I have 2 in-person meetings today that I'm going to. I can't wait for them to be over, just so my weekend can start. Anyway. Okay, my meetings are over, and I got everything in the car. I'm bringing this little guy. He usually travels pretty okay. I haven't taken him on a trip in a long while, so I'm hoping he'll be okay. It's about a 2-hour car ride, and he has more stuff than a toddler. Oh my goodness. Wish me luck. Wish me luck.
The smoke is rising in the shadows overhead. My glass is almost empty. I read again between the lines upon each page the words of love you send me. If I could know within my heart that you were lonely too, I would be happy just to hold the hands I love on this winter's night with you. fire is dying now, my lamp is growing dim. The shades of night are lifting. The morning light steals across my window panes, where webs of snow are drifting. If I could only have you near to breathe.
We're here. He did so good. It took him a little bit to get used to it. He did wander around the whole entire car, but that's where he ended up again for this last little bit. So cool.
This winter's night with you, and to be once again with you.
Once in Royal David City stood a lowly cattle shed, where a mother laid her baby in a manger for his bed. Mary was that mother mild, Jesus Christ, her little child. And Mary was that mother mild, Jesus Christ, her little child. With the poor and mean and lowly lived on earth, our Savior holy. With the poor and mean and lowly lived on earth, our Savior holy. And he cares when we are sad, and he shares when we are glad, and he cares when we are sad, and he shares when we are glad. Once in Royal David City stood a lowly cattle shed, where a mother laid her baby in a manger for his bed. And Mary was that mother mild, Jesus Christ, her little child. And Mary was that mother mild, Jesus Christ, her little child.
We're almost done shopping today. So the weather really put a damper on my intention to film. I did get some footage. I hope it came out okay. It is just, you can just see, it is still pouring. My friend is at a florist right now that's super cute, and I decided to stay in the car. I'm just sick of getting wet. I'm soaked through. We're gonna go home and get some hot toddies and prep our, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Prep our dinner and all that. So I will try to capture some good footage for you.
It is December 5th, Monday, and I thought I would just do like a little wrap up of what is happening with my knitting stuff, and also just, go through. I wanted to share with you what I got at a couple of the these are both from one thrift shop, the thrift shop footage that you saw. We, when we were in the Hamptons, we went to, another thrift shop and a bunch of others, not a bunch because it was pouring rain, so we didn't go to a lot of places. We went to 2 home furnishing places and we had lunch, which you saw, and we went to a second thrift shop. I bought something there, but I'm not going to show it because it's a gift for someone, and they watch, I think, sometimes. But in case you're wondering, I like at the Ladies Village Society, they always have old ornaments, and I really enjoy buying one, at least one from them. So this is the one I got this year. So I'm going to put this on the tree. The money that you spend at that shop goes to charity. So I really like going there. The house is amazing, isn't it? And that is right, that's in East Hampton, and it's right on the main. There's a shopping district, but there's a main road that goes where I guess at some point there were probably big mansions there. Whatever, I don't know whose house it used to be. It was probably someone's house at some point, because it's clearly, like when you walk in, it's clearly a house. I hope you enjoyed all that. I also got a pair of these, 2 of these glasses. I don't know if they're from Italy, but this is exactly the kind of mosaic work that the glass blowers in Murano, which is part of Venice, type of stuff that they do. There was no markings or anything, which actually might mean they are authentic. I don't know. They were just pretty. They reminded me of Italy, and these are going to be a gift for one of my sons, the one who I went to Italy with a couple times. Yeah, so I just wanted to share those. And with my knitting, I finished a sock. Yay! This is the colorway Poison Resistance by Chromatic Yarns. It's 100% BFL superwash, so it should make really nice socks. And yeah, I haven't cast on the second one. I literally finished this last night. So, but yeah, I got the message that I from myself that I needed to finish these socks ASAP. I also made good progress on the Saucy Surrey bomber jacket that I'm making for my daughter-in-law. I finished the waistband 3-needle bind off, and I have cast on the first sleeve. So I am moving along. The sleeves should go pretty fast. They're not that long because it's a drop shoulder. And then there's a whole nother like long cuff, that 1x1 rib waistband took quite a while, but it's down. I didn't do the insides yet. This inside tab, I haven't stitched that down yet, but I'll do that. I think in the pattern, I think I explained how to do a 3-needle bind off for that as well, but I think I'm just going to stitch it down because it's only 7 stitches. So I think I'm just going to, use a needle and yarn. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I might not do that I might set the zipper and then do that just so that it's cleaner. But yeah, this is what the bind off looks like when you're done on the inside. It does give it a little bit of firmness, but there's still some stretch and give. If you wanted more, you could use a bigger needle. I used the needle size that I used in the body but I could have gone even bigger if I wanted it to be even looser. But I think this is plenty of give. Seems to have good give, I think. Yeah. So I should have this, hopefully I have this practically done next time. I got my zippers too. I ordered a zipper. So I got the zipper, black, of course. Oh, the yarn. Also, I didn't say who I am. My name is Shannon. Welcome to my Vlogmas if this is your first time here. This is Vlogmas 2. So Vlogmas 1 is probably in the queue. I've noticed that people are watching Vlogmases from last year and commenting on those, which is fun and fine. I just hope they understand it was last year. So someone made a comment about something I said. I don't remember what it was, so I don't remember what they're referring to. So I'll have to check it out. But yeah, the main body is black hair from Ching Fiber. So it's Ching Fiber Melt Baby Suri in the colorway Black Hair. And the waistband fingering weight sock yarn is from Frost Yarn. It's called Reverse Black Speckle. She makes this on and off, this color. I think this is one of her signature colors. I haven't seen it. I haven't followed. I mean, I'm following her, but I haven't shopped her yarns in a while. So I don't know if she still has this. I think I bought this in 2020 at Vogue Knitting Live, the last Vogue Knitting Live in January 2020. Last Vogue Knitting Live that was live in New York City until this coming year. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, and also if you're new here, I live in New Jersey, and I don't have any footage of the outdoors in New Jersey this time around because there just wasn't anything to, I've been looking for wildlife. There hasn't been any. Usually there's deer all the time. But, yeah, not this week. And, yeah, so I drove out to the Hamptons. And if you're not, so like I live in New Jersey right across the river from New York City. If you're a returning viewer, this is old news to you. So I can see the city from certain points, high points in my neighborhood. We actually have a really beautiful view that I showed on a summer vlog that I did a couple years ago during the pandemic. And maybe I'll go up there for this Vlogmas and take some footage because it is really pretty up there. And the houses up there in that neighborhood are spectacular. Yeah, so I went to the Hamptons, which is, I have to go through New York City, which you saw some footage. And then I drive through the Bronx and over to Queens. And then on to Long Island. Queens is at the most western side of Long Island, and the Hamptons are on the most eastern side of Long Island. So I drive through all the suburbs out there, and then finally you're in this magical place called the Hamptons, which is a bunch of little villages that are clustered. It's 5 villages that are clustered together, and they still have like an early colonial time vibe. A lot of the buildings are original. It's really beautiful. There's windmills in every town. There's one big windmill in most of the towns. I don't think Amagansett has their windmill anymore. But there's windmills around, like randomly on people's property sometimes too. And they're original. They're from colonial times. Southampton used to be the place where all the immigrants would come through before they built Ellis Island. So there's some immigration stuff out there too, like historical immigration stuff. And it was also Sag Harbor, where I went shopping and where we had lunch, is a whaling town. So it's really interesting. It's got it's former whaling port. There hasn't been whaling in this country in at least 100 years, probably more than that, actually. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I showed you the saucy suri. I showed you, I did make a little progress on my sleeve for the funfetti that I'm making for myself, but I am prioritizing the gift knits, which this is my last pair of socks that will be gifts. But I think I'm going to try to bang out a pair for Julie, my granddaughter, who's 2, so her feet are little, so I should be able to make those. I think I have enough yarn of the yarn that I made for her mom. I think I have enough yarn to make her a pair using that, so that would be fun. So yeah, I'm prioritizing gift knits, of course, and I do have another gift knit planned that I'll talk to you about in Vlog 3, because the yarn's not here yet. Anyway, funfetti, a little bit of progress. I'm using Todd base from Lamb and Kid in Kaftan. The blue is K, the gold is Anorak, and the brown that I chose is it's like a reddish brown, and it's called Chili. It's really pretty. I love it. Somebody observed that this matched the sweater I was wearing in Vlog 1 in terms of the color scheme. I love these colors. So this is, I really love this. I love this combo. I really love this combo. So you will see this combo a lot in my sweaters, just because those are turquoise. I love turquoise, and I wear a lot of it. Yeah. Okay. And I made I think I made one more repeat on my Ward sweater, which is by Sloan Rosenthal, and I'm knitting it out of Winsley worsted that I bought on sale from Lobby NMA in the colorway Lush. It is very vibrant green, not as vibrant on screen as it is in life. The pattern is bottom up, and and the sleeves too. Funfetti is also bottom up. At least this one, the sleeves are top down, so when I get to the sleeves, I can work from the body, and there's no seaming. Yay. It's bottom up. The pattern is written for it to be done in pieces, but she tells you that you can easily convert it to in the round. So I've done that because I prefer working in the round. It's less seaming. And I don't see any advantage to seams in a knit garment. They're not stable. And they can twist, and you can end up with a body. Yeah, not fun. That is my knitting. Oh, if you're wondering, I'm wearing HANA by Junko Okamoto. I made this a few years ago out of Daylights by Harrisville Tweed, or Harrisville Fiber, maybe it's called. I don't know. They have a couple names. They're a spinner. I think they're in Vermont. They're an American spinner, and it's made from Cormo. I think it's Cormo and one other, like a little bit of something else. This is the one that has little flecks of red. I don't remember the name of it. Fun fact, this sweater is my most viewed sweater on Ravelry. I don't know what it is about it, but it's like far and away the best, most viewed sweater. Like, yeah, probably double or triple what the other ones are. It's really interesting to me. It was one of the first HANAs done after the pattern was released, I think. So I think that helped. But it's a great pattern. I really enjoyed it. You do this in a modular fashion. So each panel is its own thing. And then when you finish one panel, you're building on, and you're basically making two squares that are your front and back, two rectangles, and then a further two sort of triangular shaped rectangles that are your sleeves. So it's pretty easy, and then a lot of stitching. And I used the yarn, some hand spun for the red, and so it has sort of a variegated red tone to it, and it is around the neck as well. Not that I want you to look at my neck because, aging necks. I wanted to also share with you, before I set you free, I got some fiber. This is a mystery bag from Green Goat Ranch. Very affordable and a ton of fiber. There are 4 braids in here, 4 4-ounce braids, and a couple batlings, and then some mohair, or dyed locks. I don't know if it's mohair actually. I have to go back and look at the description. But dyed locks. So yeah, really great value, and I think Sarah understands the colors I like. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I don't know if that was delivered or not, but thank you. Yes, it's good to be a regular from a fiber vendor or yarn vendor. Okay, after this, I am going to, this is December 5th, so you will see a new vlog. I should get the vlog out today. I'm working today, but I'm working from home. I was gonna get all ready for work and then do this, but I realized that I'm working from home today and I don't have any meetings. So I was like, this is probably about as ready for work as I'm gonna get. So it means I can, be comfortable and not worry about looking presentable necessarily to anyone at work, or professional, I suppose, is a better way to say it. And yeah, so after this, I will edit, and I'm going to, I already have the footage up from the week, this whole week in there, and you will have a new episode. Vlog 3 will come out on Sunday, this next Sunday. So I have a whole bunch more advents to share, and I don't know if I don't seem to have any exciting plans, so might just be a lot of knitting chat and some Christmassy baking or something like that, something along those lines. I also have, after this, I have footage of the fiber advent and the yarn advents together, like everything I've opened to date, so you can see what's happening there. There is very definitely some fading or sort of gradient stuff happening with the yarn. The fiber is kind of all over the place. I looked up I thought that was going to be a fade, the fiber that I opened from Akara Yarns, but it does not say that on the description. It says dark forest theme, and it does not look very dark forest to me, but maybe that's coming. It looks very bright and cheerful, which is fine. I'm here for it. It is all 100% Polworth, the fiber. So that's cool, because what I didn't want this year was a bunch of mixtures of this and that stuff, like Corriedale and Romney, and I wanted fiber I could easily spin together. But so far, color-wise, they're not necessarily lending themselves to being spun together. But who knows? I'm not even halfway through yet, so there might be, if I can put 2 together even, that would be helpful. Spinning, we'll talk about that later. I have not spun at all. I was trying to keep my spinning wheel clear so that I could spin the new stuff if I were so inspired, but I'm kind of confused about where that fiber calendar countdown is going, so I haven't spun it. I might spin the next one, though, the one from Inglenook Fibers, because I think that's centered around a theme, and it's a small amount, so it'll end up just being one skein. So that would be an easy spin. I could just do 2 bobbins and be done. It won't be as dramatic as what I did last year. Last year I made 4 skeins, so I was spinning 8 bobbins. It was production, but it was worth it because that yarn is spectacular. So I might spin Sarah's, but maybe I will wait or I could spin this new stuff. But maybe I'll wait until I open a couple more. I'm not in any hurry. Also, I don't have any plans for my advents yet. But last year, I bought Olan's first countdown, and it was a combination of her indie dyed and her mill spun yarn, and it was kind of a gradient. I did not finish that project, and I want to get back to it. I wanted to work on it. My plan was to work on it in December, and yeah, when I get out from under the gift knitting, I will bring that back out and hopefully finish that before the end of the year or shortly thereafter. Anyway, I was going to say, her pattern this year, I did not get her calendar this year because I didn't finish working on the one from last year, and the pace for knitting last year's was more than I could keep up with. I just fell behind so fast. It was a lot of textured knits and stuff, but I'll show you that later. You'll definitely see that project before the end of this month. And if you're really curious, you can go watch some of my old Vlogmases from 2021, and you'll see whatever I shared about that. Her pattern this year looks pretty interesting. So I'm going to see what it looks like. She'll release it after the Vlogmas is over, and maybe that will be what I'll knit out of the Grenouille yarns, because that could be a cool thing. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. 24 minis into one pattern, into one project makes a pretty big project, but so far the colors are totally my jam. What she's made so far in the Grenouille, they're gorgeous and I love them. And yeah, it would be epic to make a big, huge throw or whatever that project is going to end up being. So, all right, I'm going to leave it here so I can get on with my day and get this edited and posted. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon with a new episode. I'll see you in 6 days. Bye.
The air is still in the silence of my room. I hear your voice softly calling. If I could only have you near to breathe a sigh